We're in New York City trying the best food from countries competing in the world's biggest soccer competition. We've got 3 spots, each crazier than the next for completely different reasons. From a nearly $1,000 tasting menu to a chaotic home-style feast and one of the wildest restaurant setups I've ever seen, and even a street vendor making something you never expect. 3 completely different food cultures, 1 non-stop food tour across New York City. Thanks to Mazda for making it happen. Now let's go eat. All right, first country we have Team Japan, one of the most prolific food countries in the entire world. Personally, one of my favorite. Now representing Japan, we have Sushi Naz, one of the highest rated Japanese food experiences, not just in New York City, but in the entire world. And behind it all is Chef Naz, a native of Hokkaido, Japan, who spent decades training under master sushi chefs in Sapporo, Tokyo, and New York before opening Sushi Naz in 2018. Since then, he's earned and maintained Michelin stars for 7 straight years, with the last 3 being 2 Michelin stars, becoming one of the most respected sushi masters on earth. Already with this entrance, it feels like what you would see in Japan. Very minimal, small door. One of my favorite sushi spots in Japan was this place that you had to duck under in the Tsukiji fish market. This is kind of like giving me that energy and bringing me back to the markets. Chef, what's going on?
Welcome.
Thank you for having us. This really feels like we're about to walk into a restaurantopia.
Definitely. It feels like Japan. Right?
It feels exactly like Japan. It's like a slice of Japan on a corner of New York City. Chef, you look swagged out. Damn. Those are some fire cakes too. Put those things in sport. You might need to sub in the tournament. All right, let's go eat. Thank you very much. Welcome. Wow. This is very cool. Chef Naz actually did our Yes Chef Reserve. First ever 2 Michelin star omakase on an airplane. Done by this man right here. That's a huge honor for us to have you serving our guests. It's very impressive. You've won Michelin stars for 7 years in a row. The last 3 being 2 Michelin stars.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I feel good. Customer are happy. Also, my team also happy. But to be honest, for me, star almost nothing. I don't care about the star.
What do you care about?
Just try to the best every single day. One day, star is coming. I will not try to the best for the star.
What do you think makes your sushi so much more elevated than every other sushi spot?
I want more like a clear, very simple. Sushi has to be simple, right? The only 4 ingredients is fish, wasabi, soy sauce. But I really want to keep more traditional.
Yeah.
Super clean. 90% is rice.
What is the process of your rice?
Oh, I'm going to show you now.
Oh, amazing.
This is a traditional rice pot. Fresh rice cooker.
Wow. That is so badass. How old is the wooden structure that you have here?
When we opened the restaurant, we bought this. But this is very, very traditional rice mixing bowl, specifically for the sushi restaurant.
How many years have you spent perfecting rice?
It's so long, still. There's only guy. Hey.
The first time I went to this really good omakase in Japan, in Tokyo, I asked for no wasabi.
Really?
And honestly, I felt like a huge But I've changed, and now I love wasabi. I've changed. Chef, what is that?
Ice chest.
Oh, there's like quite literally blocks of ice in here.
Yep.
So this is just to keep the fish at a cold temperature. Wow. So what's the rundown here?
The squid, spot shrimp from Hokkaido, and saba from Kyushu, grand fish, and a sea poach.
It's pretty cool to also get such a close-up view of the sushi master. It's like watching Steph Curry and LeBron warm up.
Reminds me of the magician. Like the magician is doing sleight of hand.
Yeah. Chef, do you have a favorite piece of fish?
I always like any mackerel, liver fish.
Why is that?
Oh, tastes good. Also very healthy, good for the eye, skin, hair.
If you didn't know, Chef is actually 90 years old.
Chef, how
He's just been eating mackerel.
How old are you, Chef?
This year, I'm 44.
44. You look not a day above 32.
Thank you.
We need the skincare routine.
I've never seen this before. 3 individual slices on one.
Mackerel.
This is what you said your
my
favorite. Chef's favorite piece. This is a big moment.
Oh.
That fish almost tastes meatier, a little tighter than the other for me. Like in a great way. There's how many different types of prawn and shrimp there are?
In Japan?
Yeah, all over the
It's
world.
a lot. Oh, I don't know. It's a lot.
It's crazy.
In the Australian fish market, I saw types of prawn that I didn't know existed. You make your own soy sauce?
Of course. That's honestly insulting. That's like, do you put your shoes on in the morning? Spot shrimp, yeah, this does look like such a meaty piece. I personally like the texture of that, the sliminess.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, it throws them off. Most people don't like to eat raw shrimp. I think it's great. I think that was such a good, like, meaty, girthy piece.
Yeah. So you definitely can get a. Wait. I almost missed the pause on that one.
I was like 9 with my grandparents. We went to Japan World. My grandpa ordered raw shrimp, and it was like really slimy, but like not good shrimp. It was like, and I like took a bite and like literally slid down my throat. Experiences at a young age don't shake me; they make me want to try again. Besides mustard, but that honestly turns me on. Just delicious tuna gets me going. I think we're just obsessed with slicing tuna.
Tonight I'm going to give you 5 different types of tuna.
Wow.
5 pieces of tuna is literally music to my ears.
Green, kami, chutoro, medium fatty tuna. This is a marble parts. It's called a shimofuri. Next one is the otoro fatty tuna. And then last one I'm going to give you a cheek.
That's the most prized piece of the fish is the cheek.
200 kilogram tuna. Cheek part maybe only like 800 grams.
Omakase for me kind of gets sad because each piece I eat is one less piece I have.
Shimofuri.
Marble parts. I feel like that's almost the perfect balance of fattiness. It melts right away, but it's not so intense.
Exactly. Not too fatty, not too lean.
Wow, this piece
Otoro.
looks incredible. So otoro is the ultimate fatty piece of the tuna, and you can see the marbling here. Otoro just kind of melts in your mouth the moment you take a bite.
Most prized piece.
And that's the most prized piece of the tuna right there. One piece of otoro sushi can be close to like $80, $90 in some places.
So that
for
one slice.
piece. It's crazy because when you take that bite, it's just gone.
Yeah.
Like you take it and it just melts. Is this
Tuna Joe, yeah. See you.
Wow. That was incredible. Chef, I haven't seen uni that color.
This is a purple sea urchin, like a long spank one. Exactly same species as a California sea urchin.
So is this like sweeter?
Sweeter, ocean taste, very rich, creamy.
Where's this one from?
From Aomori, the northern part of the mainland. They're close to Hokkaido.
Anything Hokkaido, I'm very bullish.
Yeah.
Could be the Hokkaido porta potty. I'd be like,
Low-key.
"Alright, that's the one."
Love how cold
That's your chance.
Chef, you're right. That had a really good balance of sweetness, but also that ocean taste. It wasn't too salty. Like a really nice in between. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chef. You'll see you in Monaco.
And coming up later in this video, we're meeting a New York City family that spent generations perfecting a dessert recipe that takes more than 3 hours just to create a single bite. Where it's sold, the lines it draws, and the distances people travel just for a taste are the things you have to see to believe. Wow. I feel like there's such a misconception between the sushi quality in Japan being so much better than New York. And Sushi Naz is an exact reason why that's not necessarily true, and is bringing the same exact quality omakase experience I had in Japan to New York City, which is one of my reasons why I think New York City is the best food city in the world. And after spending time in Japan, that's something I started to realize is their entire culture is rooted in precision and care about all of the small details that they do. And it's honestly really fitting because the sponsor of our video today is rooted in the same exact philosophy. Behind us is our brand new Mazda CX-5. This is the car I'm gonna be using to tour around the city. We got a lot of good food spots coming for you guys. This man was a quarterback in football. Look at the size of his hands. We got like 3 full hands. Also, the speakers absolutely bang. I wish you guys could hear them, but because this is an ad, I'm not allowed to play commercialized music. Thank you, Mazda, for hooking it up. Hey Google, take me to country number 2 is Egypt, and representing Egypt, we have the one and only Hamido Seafood. Arguably the best seafood restaurant in all of New York City. It's essentially an Egyptian oasis in the middle of Astoria, Queens. They're pumping through so many different types of seafood and flying out dishes left and right. Hamido Seafood has quickly risen to become one of the most popular restaurants in all of New York. How it works is you wait in line, you get to the front, and they have all sorts of fish and different species you might not have ever seen. You pick out what you want, tell them how you want want it cooked. And then your selection is handed off to an Egyptian grandmother who spent her entire life mastering family cooking techniques passed down through generations. The craziest part, everything she does is off the dome. No measurements, no recipes. You could get the same dish twice in 1 week and they would taste entirely different. It's essentially like visiting Egypt without even leaving New York City. We did a video about a year and a half ago that did around 50 million views. One of our bigger videos, and it was one of the most impactful videos we've done. We were talking with the owner. He was saying since that video, things have been absolutely crazy to the point where
we had to get a bigger spot so we can accommodate the crowd. I'm very grateful for that.
You know, they've had to expand the operation, open a bigger store, and it's really incredible when we can go have an experience, talk to restaurant owners, share their stories, see what they're doing, see the love they're pouring into it, and see the impact really that they have. Because at the end of the day, we're the storytellers, but they're the ones doing the work. They're the ones putting hours into the food, into the love, and treating the community, and we're just here to show that to the world. And there's no better feeling when it's a win-win, and people receive that story well and want to come and try the food. I said, you're in a lot of restaurants, there's like sommeliers. You're like the spicier, fishier. You know how to match the fish with the spices and the different marinades better than anyone.
There's no seafood everywhere,
Yeah.
but we still taste.
Yeah.
It's from God.
Amazing. All right, well, we're hungry.
What do you want to have today?
So, we're definitely going to do some scallops.
I got you the big one, huh?
Fantastic. Some of the scallops there.
I give you some with garlic butter sauce.
Perfect. Is that with the red?
Red garlic butter sauce.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
good.
Let's do 2 of these big boys and then maybe like 6 of these guys.
Two African.
Those are African Nigerian. Right?
African Nigerian.
Those are like the Shaquille O'Neal of
Like
prawns. The dish that I loved most the last time we came was the Egyptian tagine. I think on the red
I
snapper.
got you. Choose one. Which
This-
one you like more?
We'll take this one. It's
This one.
I call this New York City fishing.
Yes.
Throw the reel, I caught it.
You
All
have to
right.
live the experience, brother. Okay, you got it.
We'll do some brown legs.
One of those guys. What else you want to try?
Oh, it's still alive.
Say hi, guys. Yeah, it's about of ocean, brother. You guys like this? You have a feast here.
Thank you, my friend. It's great to see you again. Seriously.
Also, always join, okay? It's your place, brother. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We're about to uncover the true magic of Hamido Seafood. Oh my gosh, how's it going? So good to see you. I have been thinking about your cooking for years. This is the secret weapon of Hamido, the differentiating factor that no one else in New York City has. She is just an incredible woman who's been cooking her entire life and has these secret marinades and is blessing all of the food that comes through this kitchen that hits all the tables. One of the tough parts is you could come on Monday and you could come on Wednesday and the spice level will vary a lot because grandma has a heavy hand sometimes. She's not measuring out equal amounts. I've seen her just take handfuls and absolutely dump it on these fish. She takes the fish and just starts throwing on sauces, spices, and flavors from every direction. Just decades of experience as she freehands everything on the spot, which means no 2 dishes are ever exactly the same. It's the kind of one-of-one cooking that you just can't replicate. So when you say like I want to go home and have grandma's cooking, that's what you get in Hamido Seafood. Look at the actual pool of seasoning that's on that fish. And then when that cooks down in the oven, it's gonna essentially harden over and create this crust and seal in the juices to this fish of this spicy Egyptian sauce, and it's just gonna be. When people ask me, what's your favorite food city in the world? And I tell them New York, it's because New York is such a melting pot of cultures and you have places like this. You get a taste of Egypt, a taste of Japan, a taste of other countries, all in one place. I didn't know this style of cooking was even a thing before I stepped into Hamido. I really didn't think that these flavors together were honestly possible. This is not at all what I grew up with, but this is absolutely why I love doing what I do every day, to experience this firsthand. That looks so good. That might be the most seasoned fish I've ever seen. It's like a pool. Thank you so much.
Welcome, honey.
Thank you so much. So good to see you guys.
Thank you, honey. Thank you so much.
Before you take a bite of any dish here, all you need to do is just look at the food and observe the insane level of seasoning, spice, and color on each dish. When do you see crab legs that look like this? You don't, because you don't have an Egyptian grandma smothering them in spice. When do you see a red snapper
That's the
look
most
like this?
spiced up fish I've ever seen.
Grandma up there literally drowned the red snapper in Egyptian love.
If I was a fish and you killed me, like that's exactly how I'd want to be seasoned.
Yeah. We're gonna kick off with their red snapper, the butterfly snapper that you saw Grandma make. I think this is one of their most premier dishes. If you walk inside Hamido Seafood, you will see this dish essentially on every single table. Dude, look at this. You could just.
Oh my
This
god.
is just seasoning. That's only seasoning. You could take a bite literally of seasoning alone. Okay, here we go.
Spice to the max.
Phenomenal. That fish, to me, is giving me the same emotional connection to when I first tried it. It's phenomenal. The seasoning on top is so dense. It's not too powerful, it's not too spicy, but it just gives the fish so much more flavor than your typical baked with lemon and olive oil. The fish itself is so juicy. Red snapper is more of like a dense fish. It's not flaky. It kind of has like a meaty chicken feel in a way. I love it. I think this is phenomenal.
So good, bro.
I'm such a fan, and I think this is the second time I've had Egyptian food. The first was at Hamido 2 years ago. I love Egyptian food. Like, I love the spices they use. I would go to Florida a lot growing up. Red snapper was always one of my favorite dishes. And I'd have like fried snapper, and you know, it just would taste nothing like this. It was amazing. But then having it this way is like, it's awesome. So, one of my favorite dishes from last time were these beautiful sea scallops cooked down in this Egyptian butter sauce. Look at the color of that. It's just completely red. Scallops also one of my favorite types of seafood. Look at the size of that scallop too. So good. These scallops have that like sea scallop flavor, which I like. I think some people could think it's like a little taste like the ocean combined with the Egyptian spice. I love that. And they're huge, they're meaty, kind of soft. Oh my God. Yay. Yep. All right, we got our king crab. Dunk it in this Egyptian butter. Oh yeah. Another example of a food that's usually just cooked plain, but the addition of spice just makes it better. Spices just makes things better, you know? The more spice you have on things, the more marinades, usually the better it tastes. Okay, so this dish is one that kept me up at night in a good way. The Egyptian tagine. Wow. Bro, that sauce is unbelievable. Oh my God. It's almost like this sweet Egyptian spice. It's different than the snapper. Oh my God. I would put this on chicken. I put this on steak. Dude, this tastes exactly like the last time we had it. Oh, you gotta take their bread and make like a tagine calamari sandwich. That's unbelievable. That's a top 5 seafood dish I've ever had. So sardines, you just take it, bones and all. You eat every part of it. And the spice and the marinades they do takes away from like that sardine flavor people are afraid of. I'm curious for those watching, if you guys think I can make it through the end of this meal without spilling on my t-shirt. And this is a new white t-shirt, it's crisp, I just broke it out. Hopefully it doesn't get painted red. Okay, next we have these Nigerian prawns. Dude, look at the size of this thing. That thing's intimidating, honestly. It's almost like a lobster. It's not even a prawn. So meaty. It literally tastes like a lobster tail. I have a feeling that this pasta is gonna like be crazy. So we weren't gonna get this dish, but they have one of the best salesmen at the seafood counter, and the guy just talks about dishes in such a way that you feel like you're eating them. And he was like, you have to get the pasta, you have to get it. So of course, we're gonna try it. If we go to a restaurant, people that work there recommend something, I will never not try it. That's a rule of mine. Like, I will never not give a dish a try if it comes from a recommendation from the people that work there. It's great. You know what's interesting though, and something my grandma would definitely call out, is there's a lot of cheese in this pasta. I grew up with no cheese in seafood. The pasta is delicious. It's almost like a mac and cheese with seafood with a little Egyptian flair. Delicious. Honestly, great recommendation. I probably wouldn't have ordered it without them. I think my favorites are the tagine number 1, the scallops number 2, the snapper 3, king crab pasta. I forgot about the sardine. The sardine's also fantastic. That is a wrap. You know, we started off really hot. We started off on a historic run. 2 Michelin stars, Sushi In NYC, freshest fish money can buy directly from the Tsukiji markets of Japan and the Toyosu markets. And I was like, look, how are we gonna top this? Like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to top this meal of our country crawl. But then Egypt entered the chat and grandma's like, wait a minute, hold my beer, because I'm about to hit you with flavors and spices you've never experienced in your life. And Egypt might have just taken it another notch up and raised the bar even higher to a level that I just didn't think was possible. We are on an epic run right now. Now, the third country that we're gonna be hitting has one of the most famous goalkeepers in this tournament, an absolute legend. Spans from sea to land, from delicious seafood to meats, has some of the most famous street food in the world, and rhymes with Plexico. What just happened was insane. So, as you guys know, we're shooting our first ever YouTube deal with Mazda, which is a huge moment for me. I'm super proud of this. And as we're leaving Hamido, I'm going over to talk about the car. But as I'm walking over to the car, this family comes out of their house and they approach me and I almost thought it was a prank. They're like,
Nice car.
nice car?
Yeah, I love it.
You know, Mazda is gonna be, it's like 15, 20 years for you. Never ends.
They're like, oh, that's an insane car. Like, look at the space, look at the size of the details, and they go on and they almost hit every single talking point the brand told us. The guy said,
15 years with my Mazda.
you had a
It
Mazda
was
for
the
15 years?
yeah, 15 years. Never give me a problem.
Wow.
Nothing. 15 years I drove like a crazy.
And he raised his family in the Mazda, and he's like, you're gonna have this Mazda your whole life. Like, this is the most serendipitous moment in timing. Like, if that's not meant to be, then I don't know what it is. Now, stop 3, country 3 coming up. We have an incredible spot for you guys. We're headed to Brooklyn right now, leaving Astoria. So, we just got a car. We're walking to which is gonna be country number 3. I can't give it away to you guys yet. And we noticed these different vendors cooking out of a charcoal grill in a shopping cart, which I've never seen before. So while he's cooking, he takes a water bottle and he sprays the coals with water to create more smoke. And then the smoke is hitting the chicken and the chicken is absorbing all that flavor. That's very unique. You would think that the water would cool it down and it would cook less, but he's actually thinking about it a different way to lock in more of that flavor. And the coals are super hot. And they're doing Ecuadorian style grilled meats. We got chicken, beef, chorizo, pork chops. You could smell this from the other side of the park. The moment we were walking over, we're like, wait a minute, we might need a pit stop. And it's interesting because we're on a tour to find the best food from the best countries in the biggest soccer tournament in the world. And I think we just added in an impromptu country. Welcome to the chat, Ecuador. My first time actually ever trying Ecuadorian food. Liam, have you had Ecuadorian food? Looks fire. So they got their 2 homemade sauces, a barbecue, and then it looks like a lime mayo on the side. Have you ever seen someone cook on a shopping cart?
No, that's
That's
definitely
the
a first.
Yeah, you'll only find that in New York. Just a shopping cart turned into a charcoal grill.
Very delicious. Knock this out.
It is soccer season, baby.
Almost like Jones.
I got that juggling going.
This sauce is incredible.
This is actually delicious.
Yeah.
The chicken's super juicy, and it's unique because not a lot of people cook on charcoal grills in New York City, but they have the foresight to just put the charcoal grill on the shopping cart and go anywhere. Charcoal grilled meats are my favorite. I feel like a lot of people are scared of the chicken wing when it comes like this, like the whole wing. But I like
I thrive with the whole.
Yeah, I like the whole wing. The whole wing's the best. You know, this brings me back to one of my main points, and one of the things I love most about New York City is you can truly find every single type of cuisine in one city. So many different cultures, it's a melting pot of so many different people. You could be walking to go try one thing and discover 20 new things on the way there. All right, we've had an insane crawl. Japan started out hot, and then Egypt just kind of took it to the next level. Now, the third country of our crawl is Mexico. And representing Mexico, we have the one and only Nieves Cortes, Mexican-style homemade ice cream. Now, this isn't your traditional Mexican-style food. You might have thought tacos, you might have thought enchiladas or different vibes. So we're going with ice cream because this man is an absolute legend. He's been on this corner 20 years, homemaking ice cream with his family, and he hand spins every single batch. Now, we did a video here about a year and a half ago. That video did almost 30 million views. And I'm so curious to ask him about the impact that that had on his stand. I mean, the line's out the door. What's up, my friend? There he is. He's such a legend, and it's him, his wife, his kids. Everyone's going to work. No one has a day off here. He works 7 days a week, grinds his off, and I'm really excited to be back, especially on a 90-degree sunny day in New York City. This Mexican ice cream is gonna absolutely hit. So no better way to end the crawl with Nieves Cortes. Go talk to our man. How's it going, my friend?
Marcus, hey,
How are you, my friend? Good. How are you? So good to see you. How's everything going?
Busy, thank God.
Super busy?
The summer is back.
Summer's back. I know you have a huge line. Could you give a quick rundown of who you are and what Nieves Cortes is?
My name is Fidel Cortes. I'm the owner now of the Nieves Cortes. We're here on 282 Knickerbocker Avenue every summer from 2 o'clock to 7 p.m. And every day we're making different flavors. Today we got the temporary fruit. This is cactus fruit from Mexico. Cactus fruit.
Wow. This is like a dragon fruit. He changes up the menu depending on what's in season and what's fresh. What I love about Fidel is just 3 ingredients. That's it. So you really get that fresh fruit flavor. You get the seeds in there.
And we got back the
That's
coconut
amazing.
also.
Oh,
Coconut,
that's
you know,
my favorite. This one is my favorite, baby. The coconut. Call this the Fidel special.
Pitaya, melon, limon, mango.
Unbelievable. I apologize for holding up the line. So I want to buy all your guys' ice cream. I'm going to put it on me. So you guys get whatever you want. I'm going to buy everyone ice cream in line. Are you serious? Yeah, absolutely. Sorry for holding it up. Everyone's ice cream's on me.
Thank you so much.
Can I get a quick picture?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so
I
much.
watch you all the time. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, I be going. I'm from here. I grew up watching him all the time. He's been around for mad long.
Yeah.
Like I grew up, my siblings know who he is, and he be at different places. So it's kind of cool seeing like other people like come and appreciate a part of our culture. You know what I mean? Like,
What he's doing and with the family, it's incredible.
this culture stuff like this comes. I watched my grandparents, all this stuff. Like I'm from Mexico too,
Oh,
so
sweet.
it's kind of cool seeing all that stuff.
Yeah, what was your name?
Emmanuel.
Jack.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Great to meet you. I appreciate the kind words.
Nice to see people come and support because not many people see the recognition.
Yeah.
And then many people get confused with what it actually is. Some people think it's like artificial and stuff like that, but I know him and he makes everything fresh. The cantaloupe, it's called pitaya and like dragon fruit in English, but it's perfect.
He just gave me a try. It's incredible. That's my favorite thing about Fidel is like it's all natural. It's fresh fruit. It's real. Like
and
you can taste
for
the
the
fruit.
price, it's reasonable.
It's incredible.
He could have been had his own store, but him making it here is kind of like, you know, the communities around, seeing him here all the time, it's interesting.
100%. Mexico has just some of the most incredible food.
Imagine when
Dude,
actual Mexico
yeah,
is
I
insane.
know, that's
this is
we-
really like as close as it gets though.
That's what I've heard. You've made it this far. I'm so curious to get your recommendations for when we actually go to Mexico. What cities should we hit? What foods should we try when we go to Mexico? Because we're planning a trip, and it's one of my top places that I want to go travel to and try the food. Thank you, my friends. Oh, so luscious, so creamy. Oh my God, this is it. This is why you make the trek over to Brooklyn for Fidel's hand-spun 2-hour homemade ice cream. Look at how luscious it is, and it's kind of like an icy, but it has the feel and the look of an actual ice cream. You know, we got mango underneath, coconut on top, and it's 90 degrees out. I'm sweating, and this is exactly what I need. So stop 3, country 3, Mexico, Fidel Cortes, Mexican style ice cream. Let's do this thing. Truly unbelievable. Using the best ingredients, and you can just taste it. The consistency is phenomenal. It's not too sweet. You could taste the chunks of fruit. You got chunks of coconut in here. The mango's incredible. When I can't get over the consistency, this man doesn't miss. It's some of the best ice cream I've had in New York City, and it's absolutely the most unique ice cream I've ever tried. The process, the work, fruit, the spinning. With food, you really can taste the love in things, and you can taste when someone pours their entire life and time and energy into making something. Fidel gets here like 8, 9 a.m. He hand spins this ice cream with his wife and his kids for 2 to 3 hours. About every 10 minutes, they take this massive oar and they start to mix the ice cream to get that consistency to the perfect regular ice cream consistency, but it takes a lot of work to get there. That's gotta be a workout. They're putting the whole fam to work. Look at little man back there. Little man's spinning, working too. No one gets days off with Fidel. All right, next up, we have the seasonal pitaya, which is a Mexican dragon fruit on top and then cantaloupe underneath. And with this one, we got some chamoy, which is like this Mexican sour candy topped with tahini to give it a little spice. Here we go. Ooh. Ooh. The chamoy kind of gives it this like port head sensation. It gives it this like really sourness to it, but it and then the tzatziki has some good spice. But it's like a really it's like a really good balance because you got the sweetness from the fruit and then the spiciness from the chamoy and the tagine. It's great. You can see the seeds in the ice cream. Fidel kind of just brings the vibes and the energy. He brings people together. It's awesome to see. He's connecting people through the love of food, through his culture, his recipes, what he's learned growing up with his family and his father's ingredients, coming to Brooklyn, just spreading it to everyone else here. And we're lucky enough that we could tell these stories and we could highlight people like Fidel. That's what we do. Fidel, thank you so much.
Thank you,
I really appreciate it. I hope that it just gets busier and busier as the summer comes.
Thank you.
You deserve it. You earn it.
Thank
you
you for
guys
the
work
support. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We'll be back soon too. I gotta try the seasonal flavors all summer. Incredible. We're walking to the ice cream spot and you get some Ecuadorian grilled meats. My first time trying Ecuadorian foods. Yeah, have a good day. This is what makes New York New York. The melting pot of people. We, as a city, New Yorkers, made up of everyone around us. And that's something that Fidel does such a good job of doing. He brings his culture, he brings his pride, and he shares it with the community of New York City, and there's a line down the entire block. That completes our tour, and it was epic. 3 spots, 3 countries, driving over all of New York City. We hit Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, 3 of the boroughs, and we got a lot more eating to do. What I think I might do is see who's in the finals of this tournament and do a food clash between the 2 final countries left in the greatest soccer tournament on earth. And you guys let us know if you've made it this far. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you loved the recommendations from the different countries. Let me know what you want to see next. Let me know what countries you think we should hit next, and we're gonna go do them all. There's no limit to where we'll go to find the best food.